you very much for having me. I'm a lawyer by profession. I was practicing in Juba and also a member of the Constitutional Review Commission representing the civil society. I was a lead advocate in the case of the Secretary General of SPLM, Pagana Mum, against the chairman of the SPLM, President Salva Kiir. As a result, my life was threatened, and then I came to Kenya. So I have been here for all this time, since August. Now I am the Deputy Chairperson of the Justice and Human Rights Commission within the opposition, deputizing Dr. Richard K. Muller. The Constitutional Review Commission was a constitutional requirement after the successful referendum. The transition constitution was saying that there should be a Constitutional Review Commission set up within 6 months after the adoption of the transitional constitution. That process should actually entail consultation with political parties, civil society organizations, and all the stakeholders. But the SPLM chairman and the president, through a presidential decree, decided to set up a commission without further consultation. As a result, I was handpicked to represent the civil society. The commission was not really successful in its mandate because there was no political will for the Constitutional Review Commission to undertake its mandate as spelled out in the Constitution. As a result, it was a complete failure, and we have seen how many times the Constitution was amended for its term to be extended. Up to today, there is no any meaningful progress. The Constitutional Review Commission, according to the Constitution, should have completed its task within 1 year, because it was established in June 2011, and by 2014 it would have actually submitted its report, with the explanation note to the president. That could not take place, so an amendment was tabled before the parliament, and the constitution was amended, and the terms of the Constitutional Review Commission was extended for another 2 years. That was the first amendment of the Constitution and the extension of the mandate of the Constitutional Review Commission. Again, we have seen when the terms of the president was extended, also the mandate of the Constitutional Review Commission was extended for another 3 years. This is how it has been, going on and on without any tangible progress being made. Yeah, being the Secretary General of South Sudan Law Society, I was very active in the justice sector. So we tried our best that we should have an independent judiciary, because the transitional constitution says that the judiciary derives its powers from the people, and should really be the adjudicator between the people among themselves and also with the government. But it's very unfortunate that since the establishment of the judiciary after the CPA, that the judiciary was never independent, and it was undermined by the executive all this time, and it was the Chief Justice was always handpicked by the executive, so the independence of the judges and the judiciary was completely, questionable. And as a result, we have seen that how the executive continue to violate the constitution, and also to usurp powers of the judiciary. If you compare the judiciary which we have now and the judiciary we had during the liberation, you will find that the judiciary during the liberation was more independent and powerful than the judiciary we have. if you assess, you'll find that the most dysfunctional and corrupt institution within South Sudan since the signing of the CPA in 2005, it has been the judiciary. And that's why you have seen our people are taking law into their own hands, because the judiciary is very weak, is very corrupt, and is not independent. Yeah, thank you very much once again. I think there has been a series of violation of the constitution by the executive, and especially the president of the republic, Salva Kiir. If you go through the implementation of the transitional constitution, you will see that there were constitutional mandates to the executive, but there are other processes which need really that there should be checks and balance, to the executive, and we have seen that first of all that the provision of removing the elected governors was a very serious violation of the constitution itself, because that means you undermine, the will of the people who have elected their own governors, who have given their own governors, the mandate to represent them. The president, in several occasions violated that. We have seen also how he also violated the Bill of Rights within the Constitution. And the case of Pagana Mum was a very clear case that chairman of the SPLM ordered the Secretary General not to exercise his freedom of speech or movement, which is a very serious violation of the Constitution. But our Supreme Court did not intervene to stop the chairman of the SPLM from violating the Constitution. And then the appointments of ambassadors without being vetted by the parliament, it was also a very serious violation, because he did not adhere to the constitutional requirement that there must be regional balance, gender balance, and merit on those appointments. And we have seen a number of appointments within the commissions also, where all these requirements were not adhered to. Then we have seen how he was unilaterally, declaring the state of emergency, and extending it, and without even the approval of the parliament. I think the last violation which we have witnessed recently is that the current Minister of Finance, Denga Thorbe, was appointed, and he was never vetted by the parliament, and he took oath of office. Then him also assuming presidency, through illegal processes, because in the transition constitution, he was not an elected president of the Republic of South Sudan, because his mandate ended, with the implementation of the CPA, which was marked by the vote of our people, who decided that we should have an independent republic called South Sudan. So there would have been a new mandate now by the people, but he decided to abuse the powers, and he extended his terms of office and sworn himself in as the president of the Republic of South Sudan without, the Electoral Commission declaring him as the president of South Sudan, and without, the people giving him another mandate, because there is a referendum legitimacy and there is CPA legitimacy in our current situation. The CPA legitimacy ended by our people voting, for independent South Sudan. But the president was elected for implementation of the CPA, So our people have to distinguish and differentiate between these two things. So there is a number of violations of the constitution by the president, and we have seen mixing up, between the executive powers usurping the judiciary powers and also the legislation.
Yeah.
You know, when the CPA was signed, there are certain provisions within the CPA, and there were certain benchmark. And one of the benchmark of the implementation of the CPA that there will be an election. And indeed, the election was carried out in 2010. And people of South Sudan, people of Sudan as a whole, voted for President Bashir as the president of the whole Sudan, and voted for Salva Kiir as the president of the Southern Sudan, you know, which was part of Sudan, so that the implementation of the CPA continues. The constitution, the interim constitution mentioned that people of South Sudan will be given an opportunity to decide whether they should be part of Sudan or they should opt for an independent country. Indeed, women and men of South Sudan decided to have their own independent country, which they did. And that marked the end of the election mandate for President Salva Kiir. Now, what would have happened? That President Salva Kiir would have been re-elected, you know, by the people of South Sudan and given a new mandate, you know. But the SPLM decided that they have to entrench themselves into power, you know, by amending the interim constitution of 2005, you know, through dubious processes, and entrenched the SPLM and brought in Salva Kiir, you know, as the incumbent president of Southern Sudan to be the president of the Republic of Sudan, you know. So now the referendum legitimacy, you know, has been violated by this amendment of the constitution, of the interim constitution in 2005. And this is why now we have these problems, you know, because you cannot be a transitional, an interim president, and then you become a transitional president, and then again you become an extended president, you know. It's too much, you know. And if you look into the constitution, the transition constitution of South Sudan, the preamble says that the wise decision taken by the people of South Sudan to establish their own independence, they voted overwhelmingly in the referendum, and they established the Republic of South Sudan. That republic would have been grounded on a constitutional democracy, which will elect a new president, you know, who will now carry on, you know, a referendum mandate of the people of South Sudan, not a CPA mandate, which has elapsed by the implementation of the implementation. Yeah, of the I mean, the opposition is trying its best that through this process of IGAD, that we need to reform most of the institutions in South Sudan, because without reform, then the implementation of whatever peace reached by the warring parties will be very difficult. That's why the opposition is trying very hard that we should reform the judiciary, and it becomes an independent institution which represents the will of the people of South Sudan, not the will of the executive or the president of the republic. Other institutions also are subject also to reform. So you will find that in the position papers being presented by the opposition, you will find that a lot of reforms are entrenched in the proposals presented to IGAD. That is the only way forward, that we should really bring reform to the current situation we are in for a peaceful and prosperous South Sudan. I think our people in South Sudan have really fought for justice, equality, for the last 50 plus years. I think they should continue with the same spirit until they realize that the South Sudan they have fought for is really grounded on equality, justice, freedom, accountability, and prosperity. So they should continue with that spirit. And also I urge them that they should work for reconciliation, healing among the people of South Sudan through dialogue.